Okay, so we had just finished solving in the last video, solving part A of example 41 here. I was about ready to graph it, but I hadn't gotten to that point. And this one says x is greater than 5. So I'm going to put a parenthesis on 5 here and draw my arrow off to the right. And last but not least, I'm going to give the solution set in interval notation. So parenthesis with the 5, and then it goes off to infinity, which never can be grabbed, so I put a parenthesis around it. And so those are my three things that we want to do. Solve it, then give a graph, and then give interval notation. And then we'll go on to part B. All right, so moving on to the second example here. On this one, we have both variables and numbers to move. So we're going to move the variables to the left. It is more convenient if you can keep the variables on the left-hand side with an inequality, just because that keeps it in standard form. But it is absolutely unnecessary because you guys do know how to put an inequality in standard form now. So we add the opposite of x to both sides, getting x plus 7 is less than 9. Don't forget to carry on the inequality. Now moving the numbers, so we have the adding a negative 7 to both sides, and now we have x is less than a positive 2. And so now what we'll have is moving on here. Oops, I put these by twos. So, oh well, here's the 2, and so I'll mark 2 right there. And we have less than 2, so I'm going to put the parenthesis there and moving off to the left because it is less than that. And now interval notation, it goes off to negative infinity, which I can never capture, so putting a parenthesis on that, and it comes up to, on the right-hand side, a positive 2, and that's the end of it. So there's my snapshot. All right, moving on to part C. Part C, we have a little bit more simplification to do. On the right here, we have a distributive property, and on the left, we want to combine like terms. So on the left, the 2x and the x combined give me 3x, and then minus 15 or plus a negative 15, whichever you like. And then this is going to distribute here, and don't forget here too, so this is going to give us 2x minus 2, and then the constants will combine, so now we'll have 2x and then 15 minus 2, which is a positive 13, and then we'll move the variables, so add the opposite of 2x to both sides to move that over to the left so I can keep it in standard form. Not necessary, of course, but it does make it nice. X and then minus 15 is less than or equal to, and then positive 13. And now I'm going to add 15 to both sides here, and now I'm going to have x is less than or equal to, and this will be 28. And it looks like I actually needed my other number line over here. Let's go back and use that one to graph this x is less than 28, since how I don't want to redo that one. So x is less than or equal to 28, so this is 2, 4, 6, and 8, and less than or equal to 28 would go off this direction just like that, and the 28 there. I do not recommend putting two graphs on the same one, but I kind of messed up on that graph and didn't want to take the time here. So you wouldn't normally do that. And then our interval notation, negative infinity here, and then comma, and it comes up to 28, and it does include the 28. And so there we have our interval notation as well. Moving on down to our next example here. Our next example is the first one that's going to get us into the big trouble. And so I'm going to just go ahead and move on to our next video to show us the big trouble. So I'll see you in the next video.